So you applied to any of the Schengen member state, and then you got a refusal notice. Now we're going to talk about why your Schengen visa was refused. After you have been informed that your visa has been refused, you would be given a list of reasons why. We're going to talk about those reasons. One of the reasons would be that a false document was presented. Now it would just be listed, and if they did not take that, then of course it does not apply to you. That is easy to understand. If you present false documents and you are caught, yes, your visa application will be denied, and you may be banned for a period of time from applying to that country. So you don't want to do that to you. Another reason would be the justification for the purpose and conditions of the intended stay was not provided. And this is one reason that confuses, applicants more than any other reason. Why were you denied under this justification? It could be one or more reasons. And before I go on to other reasons, let me tell you that it could just be that whoever considered your application does not believe that you deserve a visa, and they don't really need to have any reason. If you are denied for justification, then I think your case is easy. It means if you apply again, you may get a visa, because most times it could just be that you had a hotel reservation that was not valid. Maybe you provided something, as in just something did not add up. It could like you did not explain to them why it was important for you to go on that trip. They are not satisfied that you need that visa at that particular time. And then what must you do? You must justify by showing why it is necessary for you to be in that particular country at that point in time. And so you might ask me, like, if I'm going on vacation, how do I prove that my vacation is justifiable? It is tricky. You have to show that, for example, an example would be that you've worked all year, you haven't taken a vacation, you are taking this vacation now because it is, summer and your children are out of school, and this is the best time for your family to travel together. And what you must do is that you must ensure that the plan associated with that trip is clear on paper. You have justified that. You have shown your itinerary that would show that for every day that you spend in the EU, you are going to do X, Y, and Z. And if you plan to visit other member states, I want you to understand that it is absolutely okay for you to apply for a visa to France, and then once you get to France, you spend time in France, you spend 1 week in France, you are allowed to go to Italy, you are allowed to go to any other place. As a matter of fact, if you say you're spending 1 month and they see that you're spending your time alone in Paris, it's a problem. But if you say you're going to Paris, and then from Paris you would go to Nice, and maybe from Nice you would go to Milan or any other place, then it justifies why you intend to stay for 1 month. It makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go to Paris and stay for 1 month. It is possible, but justify that purpose. Show that there's so much you're going to do. You have activities you have planned to do, and that's why you need to stay for that long. So what does justification mean? It means that for that particular period you're saying you're traveling for, you have not justified why it is important for you to be there at that point in time. The activities that you plan to do, you have not given details. They don't know what you're going to do, and to them, to what they consider reasonable, whoever is assessing you, like I said, errors can be made. They don't think that you deserve a visa at that point in time. So another reason would be, which is a common reason, is that you have not provided proof of sufficient means of subsistence. Now, this could be for the duration of the intended stay and also for your return back, to your country. You did not provide a bank account that shows that you have money, and not just that you have money, you have a sustainable income. And so because of that, they are not convinced that you can afford your trip, That's what I'm talking about, proof of funds, and then, source of funds. It's not sufficient to show that you have money. You should also show where that money, actually, comes from on a regular. So if you prove that you have money to travel, you must also show that yes, you have a job, yes, you have a business, yes, you have earnings, yes, you have an income that continues to generate money, for you, that even if you go on this trip, you are able to afford your trip and it is sustainable. So another reason would be that one or more member states considers you to be a threat to public policy, internal security, or international relations. Now, I find that most times people would go apply to country A, a part of the Schengen member state. We all know the member state. If you don't know, I'm going to list it here so you can refresh your memory. Now, you go to one member state, they deny your visa, or maybe you messed up there, they banned you, and then you decide to go to country B, thinking that they don't have records. Now you see that they do have a central database where they would fish you out if you're trying to be dubious. So you don't want to do that. They're all connected, they share information, because that's the whole essence of the Schengen area, because they know that once one person gives you a visa, they are opening the rest of them, the rest of the members, to you, whatever threat or whatever you represent. So they want to guard not just their borders, but that of their member states. So if any one of them considers you a threat to public peace or international relations or security, your visa application will be denied, and this reason would be you want to be clear in your communication. You want to include a cover letter, whatever documents you're using to support. You must make sure that you don't go and book accommodation for a trip and then cancel it before your visa is granted. Why would you want to do that? Because you think, oh, they won't go and check the accommodation. Some of them do. You book a reservation, you say, okay, this is what you're, because I always wonder why people have to do so much. You can go the website where you can go and book accommodation and give yourself a period of time to cancel that accommodation if your visa application is denied. That's why you have to apply in good time, so that you would have time to deal with whatever cancellation may arise, and you can make this reservation for free. Yes, there are some that might require you to pay, but if you sit down there and go through each and every one of the accommodation, you would find some that have free cancellation up until the day of the arrival, or maybe a week before you arrive. And of course, you should be applying for your visa on time, so you can cancel if you can't make the trip, or you can stay there, of course, if your visa application is granted. So medical insurance, travel and medical insurance is very important. It's one of the documents required when you're applying to the Schengen member state. Now, if you don't have this document, your visa application will be denied. So always ensure that you get one with a reputable insurance company in the approved format. And of course, they would also advise you that you are free to appeal the decision to refuse your visa application within a stipulated time, usually within 2 months, depending on the embassy. The French embassy would give you 2 months, but there's always a period of time that you can appeal if you choose that option. But like I always say, the process to appeal is not usually straightforward. I would advise you to reapply rather than appeal. So I hope this was useful. If you liked it or you found it useful, somebody else needs it. Why share it with a person? Because this happens to even the best of us. So don't keep it to yourself, share it with someone. And then if you do require visa support service, it is a service that I provide. I would include the link where you can go and if you want to get in touch with us. Otherwise, if you leave your comment here, I would respond to it. You can ask me any question in the Ask Auto. So if you missed it, I would include the video, the part 1 of the video at the end of this video, so you can go watch. You can see questions that others have asked, and you may be surprised. It may actually answer some of the questions that you may have regarding visa applications. Even if it doesn't answer your question, it will educate you and enlighten you. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you did like this content. See you next time. Bye.